welcome back to IFRS It's Easy. I'm Aida Mulautu and I run this YouTube page. Today we'll be looking at some of the questions that you guys have asked me, especially with respect to what to do when you get to the port of entry in Canada. So I've received quite a number of questions that talks about that, so I'll be addressing that right in this video. I'll be splitting the session into three, where I'll be talking about what to expect via work permit, what to expect via study permit, and via permanent residence permit. So we'll be looking at it in that section. So you've got to your job, you arrived in Canada at the airport. So basically the first thing, you'll be checked in as soon as you get to the airport when you land in Canada. So as soon as you land in Canada, you land at the airport, the first set of officers that you'll be meeting are the Canada Border Agency Services. So basically what they will do is to check you in, and they will also, there's a machine, there are quite a number of machines that you actually scan your passport on, you scan your travel document on, and then you have to answer some questions on the machine. Some of those questions talks about the list of goods you are traveling with, whether you brought in some animals, some vegetables, quite a number of goods that they don't expect you to bring in. So I'll list some of those questions on the screen so that I can see them. Some of the things that the machine will ask you, aside from you actually scanning your travel documents on the machine. So once you are through with that, then the officer will now refer you to where the immigration officers are seated. So it is the immigration officer that will then interview you as regards whether they are satisfied with the document that you will provide, and also whether to issue you the permits that you are looking to get. So the interview questions, it varies. There's no fixed experience, because it depends on the circumstance, the situation on ground, and whoever is interviewing you. So there's instances where some people will say that the only thing they asked me for is just my documents. They didn't ask me for any other thing. While some people will say, oh, they asked me this, they asked me that. So your experience varies. So I'll just be sharing with you some of those questions that you may actually prepare for. It doesn't mean that they will actually ask you that, but in case they do ask you. So basically there are some general questions that they ask, regardless of whether you are coming through work permit, study permits, wherever permit that you are looking to get. There are some basic questions that they will ask you. So basically they will ask you about your stamped passports, your travel documents, the letter of introduction that you got. So there are some documents that are expected to have printed even before coming or landing in Canada. Whatever document that they've shared with you, you are supposed to actually bring it with you. So your educational credentials, if you are married, your marriage certificate. You can also print your resume as well. So those are the basic documents that are expected to present to, those are some of the basic documents I expected to present to the immigration officer. Now, in terms of questions, some of the questions that you may be expecting, that is not compulsory that they will ask, but that you may be expecting, it will be based on, okay, what did you come to do in Canada? You might also be asked about, where will you be staying in Canada? So probably if you have rented an Airbnb, or if you already have a permanent place that you've rented before coming, you might actually print out the rent agreement or the Airbnb page that talks to that. So they may also ask you whether you have visited Canada before. You are supposed to talk about that and know the dates when you have visited before. They may also ask you, do you have any family members aside from the ones that you have come with? They may also ask you how long you intend to stay in Canada. So those are the basic questions that you may expect to hear from the immigration officer. So then there are some specific questions that may relate to the kind of permit that you are looking to get. So for example, if you are looking to get a work permit, most likely they will ask you, the name of your company. They may ask you about the location of your company. So they may ask you about, what do you expect to be doing in your company? So they may ask you your offer of employment, your company support letter. So those are the major questions they'll be asking you, aside from the ones I listed earlier for your work permit, is basically those questions that center around your employment. They may not ask you for proof of fund because most likely the employment is an indicator that you already have funds, or that you have funds or inflows that will actually sustain you in Canada. So for study permit, they most likely will ask you your admission letter. For study permit, they will also probably ask you your proof of fund as well. And take note that these are not compulsory questions, but they are suggestive questions. That they are questions that they may actually ask depending on the situation on ground. For PR as well, they may ask for proof of fund as well. So basically, the major thing that you have to do with respect to port of entry is to prepare yourself. Make sure you print out all the necessary documents and make sure that you come with some answers to some of those questions that I've posed with respect to that. So, based on the conversation I've had, those are the major questions that you may actually expect to be asked. The interviewers are always calm, they are polite, so it's not really an interview in the real sense. It's just a chat about your documents and so on and so forth. So contrary to the opinion of many people that always think that the interview process is always something stringent, the major thing is for you to come prepared, come with all the necessary documents, and then be calm to answer the questions, and then you'll be good to go. So that's about it. If you have further questions, leave them in the comment section. So if you have enjoyed this video, please give a like, comment, share, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.